else under visitors? Did you want to talk about the petition?
Oh, is that not in the?
It's not on the agenda, I just,
Well, I think I spoke about it at the last meeting, but since Attorney Bennett is here today, I believe the three concerns about the petition, as I read the letter of response, were, number one, the word rescind as opposed to the word repeal, and in Webster's dictionary the two words are synonymous. Number two, the question itself is, it said that the question, it's hard to understand just what exactly is asking to be rescinded, and yet the question says all, as of yet, uncontracted projects and expenditures that resulted from the bonding package referendum held on April 6, 2017, and I believe there's the most updated accounting that I have from Kevin indicates, I believe, approximately 7.77 million that is, as of yet, uncontracted, and so I believe that that's pretty clear. I understand the question about what if something is already contracted but not yet completed, but obviously the question excludes those items by saying only all as of yet uncontracted projects and expenditures. And then I believe there's a third question with regard to the circulatory statement, and the circulatory statement was done in concert with the town clerk, and we looked at the statute. This is essentially the same as what's been used on many other petitions in town, so the letter was not clear as to what might be missing. If there is something missing, certainly we'll make that correction and resubmit, but there are 318 citizens who have signed the petition, so we definitely would like to see it put forward.
John?
Starting with the last first, the statute requires that your oath contain a statement that all of the signatures were collected within the last 6 months, and that's 7-4, 7-9, which is referred to specifically in our charter, requires compliance. 7-9. The circulator either knows each signer or the signer satisfactorily identified the circulator, and that all signatures on such page were obtained not earlier than 6 months prior to the filing of said petition. And that item, it says any page of a petition which does not contain such a statement by the circulator shall be invalid. So all pages are invalid. And the question doesn't identify the projects. Someone signing that wouldn't know whether they're signing off to stop, whatever it is, the paving of the road or the fixing of the roof or whatever it is. You're not repealing the resolution, the bonding resolution. What you're doing is saying stuff that's uncontracted for without identifying it to the person who's signing this petition. So even if the petition was in form valid, it doesn't identify what the object is. You and yourself here this morning have just said, well, we think there's about $7 million. Well, that isn't what the question directs the object to, or the people to. It says, whatever's uncontracted for, whatever that may be. So a petitioner has no way to know whether they're voting against funding a road paving project or anything else. And when you draw an ordinance, which is what you're talking about here, is you've got to have some specification. If you wanted to repeal the original ordinance, the original bonding resolution, that's another matter. But that's not what this says.
It doesn't indicate, John, projects and expenditures that resulted from the bonding package referendum held on April 6, 2011, which is very specific.
It doesn't talk about the resolution. It talks about the projects under the resolution. So, if someone walked up and signed this thing, they'd be relying entirely on the circulator statement about what he or she thought was covered by it, not by what the text of the thing is. And I don't think that that makes it a valid petition, and it's invalid according to our charter and statute anyway as to form. Actually, you know, it would have been very easy for me just to suggest that the form is inadequate, which it is. I tried to address some of the substance of the thing. And when you pass an ordinance, you've got to specify what the object is, or what the text is. And this doesn't do that. And it doesn't move to repeal the original resolution. It's addressed only to the expenditures with respect to projects. And the comment with respect to things that have already been contracted for was just to advise of the consequence of a consequence which certainly the town can accept, which is having contracted for things and then pulling the funding and the potential damages from that. That doesn't bear on whether or not the petition is valid or not, but it's something certainly to be considered.
So John, what you're saying then is that, because obviously if you just move to repeal the resolution, well, now you've come into the question those items that are a part of the resolution but have already become contracted.
And that's the problem that you find yourself in, and that's why you need specification.
So the resolution for the original referendum also granted some leeway with regard to other projects. Okay, it was not specific. So since that question is not specific, and not only that, but those numbers are fluid. In other words, you could take a snapshot tomorrow and that number will be different. So it's practically impossible to come up with individual numbers for each item. And by saying the projects and expenditures that resulted from the bonding package referendum, and of course that language is readily available and it is detailed.
What are they? Name them for me.
Okay, you've got the salt barn, you've got the athletic field, you've got the beach building, you've got the town hall building, you've got the, did I say the athletic field already, or wait a second? You've got the, I don't have it in front of me. I don't have it in front of me.
This is the problem.
Well, I don't think
if you have the list,
I think it is readily
why wouldn't the
available.
list put into the petition?
I have yet to have one of those individuals who signed this petition say, I'm not familiar with what those items were or what the bonding package was.
But the point is, if you've got the list, why not put it in the petition so that everybody knows what they're voting for?
Okay.
All right. Moving on. Anything else in visitor at this point?
I'd like to just add that the problem with the original, this is Kurt Carr at 9 Osprey Commons South, the problem with the original bonding package was that it was, as usual, very vague as to what was being covered. There were things that were passed back and forth between the Board of Finance, but at the end of the day, and this is why the petition was so important, was that it did not indicate how this money was going to be spent, and as happened in the past, that money's been moved around between projects, and this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with the original bonding package, why we were objecting to it in the first place. We're not objecting to bonding package, it's just that it's not specific enough. And we'd like to see specific bonding packages going forward, and we'd like to have anything that hasn't been contracted for on this rescinded. That's what that petition is about. If you want us to go back and get more signatures, we'll correct this and come back to you, but this is not over. So, you know, if that's what you want, that's fine. I'd much rather see you put it before the voters again.
It's already been to the voters, Kirk, and passed. And it was done according to state statute. The resolution was done by bond counsel. It's similar to other resolutions we've done in the past. And I had said going forward that if we have similar situations, we would put the questions out individually. What more can I do? So if you can come up with a valid petition and bring it back to us, then certainly then we have to honor the petition. But at this point, you don't have a valid petition. That's it. Okay. Moving on.